In the brutal world of nature, survival usually means looking out for your own genetic bloodline. For decades, biologists believed animals were strictly hardwired to view other species as either a threat or a meal. But across the globe, researchers and wildlife caretakers have documented incredible cases where the parental urge completely overrode millions of years of evolutionary programming. Here are 25 amazing animals that shocked the world by adopting babies of entirely different species. 1. Lionesses. In Kenya, a wild lioness named Camunyak made global headlines when she bypassed her predatory instincts to adopt an orphaned baby Oryx, a species of antelope that lions typically hunt. She protected the calf from predators, traveled with it, and even gave up her own hunting opportunities to stay by its side. 2. Bottlenose dolphins. In French Polynesia, scientists discovered a female bottlenose dolphin swimming with two calves, her biological infant and an orphaned melon-headed whale. For over 3 years, she raised the young whale as her own, nursing him and successfully integrating him into her dolphin community. 3. Bald eagles high in the forest canopies. Bald eagles have been documented adopting red-tailed hawk chicks, likely originally brought to the nest as prey. Once the baby hawk cries out for food, the adult eagle's parenting instincts override its predatory drive, and it raises the hawk alongside its own eaglets. 4. Beluga whales. In the St. Lawrence River, a pod of young male beluga whales completely adopted a stray, juvenile narwhal into their social circle. Despite differences in their hunting zones and features, drone footage captured the narwhal fully integrated, playing and traveling with its adopted family for years. 5. Capuchin monkeys. In a Brazilian forest reserve, researchers observed a wild troop of capuchin monkeys carrying, grooming, and feeding a tiny marmoset monkey. Capuchins occasionally hunt smaller primates, but this marmoset was safely protected and accepted into the social hierarchy for over 14 months. 6. Bonobos. In the Congo, researchers witnessed 2 separate wild bonobo mothers adopt infants from entirely different outside social groups. Even though bonobos are traditionally highly territorial, these mothers treated the orphaned outsiders with pure tenderness, nursing and carrying them for months. 7. King penguins. On sub-Antarctic. Marion Island, a king penguin took on an incredibly dangerous foster child, a skua chick. Because skuas are aggressive predatory birds that actively hunt penguin chicks, this penguin's choice to shield the vulnerable chick from harm shocked observers. 8. Two-fingered sloths. Two-fingered and three-fingered sloths are separated by over 30 million years of evolution and rarely interact. However, wildlife guides have documented instances of wild three-fingered sloths adopting orphaned two-fingered sloth babies, carrying them on their bellies and sharing food. 9. American crows. Crows are notorious for raiding the nests of smaller birds, but a nesting pair of American crows shocked onlookers by adopting an orphaned fledgling blue jay. The crows brought insects to the young blue jay and allowed it to sleep safely in their nest alongside their own chicks. 10. Wild leopards. In an incredible reversal of typical feline aggression, researchers in India documented a female leopard adopting and raising a tiny tiger cub separated from its mother. The leopard nursed the tiger cub alongside her own smaller cub and fiercely defended it from predators. 11. Golden retrievers. At a sanctuary in China, a golden retriever became the surrogate mother to a pair of newborn Siberian tiger cubs, rejected by their biological mother. The dog lovingly nursed and groomed the future apex predators right alongside her own puppies. 12. French Bulldogs. At an animal sanctuary near Berlin, a French bulldog named Baby took charge of a litter of 6 tiny, shivering wild boar piglets that arrived after losing their mother. The dog immediately curled around them to provide body heat and guarded them during their growth. 13. Domestic cats. While cats are natural predators of birds, a farm cat turned the tables on her own instincts. After a tiny chicken chick survived a local predator attack, the nursing cat took the chick into her litter of kittens, keeping it warm and raising it safely into adulthood. 14. Rhodesian Ridgebacks. An 8-year-old Rhodesian Ridgeback hound named Kajinga showed incredible gentleness when farm owners introduced her to a tiny Vietnamese pot-bellied piglet rejected by its mother. The large dog immediately adopted the piglet, and her body uniquely responded by producing milk to nurse it. 15. Yellow baboons. At an animal orphanage in Kenya, a young rescued yellow baboon formed an immediate attachment to an orphaned bush baby. The baboon carried the small nocturnal primate everywhere, cradling it in its arms during naps and shielding it from the gaze of other animals. 16. Greyhounds. Greyhounds are built for the chase, but a hound named Torque showed zero prey drive when introduced to a baby owl removed from its mother for safety. The young hound bonded instantly with the chick, guarding the owl's perch and letting the bird nestle between his paws. 17. Aldabra giant tortoises. When a baby hippopotamus named Owen was separated from his herd during a tsunami, he was brought to a wildlife park in Kenya. Traumatized, the young hippo ran to a 130-year-old male Aldabra tortoise named Mzi. The giant tortoise accepted the mammal, sleeping next to him and teaching him how to forage. 18. Pigs. On a rescue farm in Massachusetts, a pig named Lulu stepped up to become the surrogate guide for a blind cow named Baby. Lulu walked ahead of the cow, using specific vocal grunts to lead her directly to food troughs and pasture gates while ensuring she didn't bump into obstacles. 19. Chimpanzees. In multiple sanctuary settings, adult chimpanzees have been observed adopting orphaned feral cats. The great apes carry the felines gently around their enclosures, share their food with them, and meticulously groom their fur, just like they would for a baby chimp. 20. Domestic hens. A mother hen's brooding instinct is incredibly powerful. On various farms, broody hens whose eggs failed to hatch have been discovered sitting directly on top of litters of newborn puppies or kittens, puffing out their feathers to trap body heat and keep them warm. 21. Long-tailed macaques. In Indonesia, a wild long-tailed macaque made waves when she found a stray 7-week-old kitten near a forest edge. The monkey adopted the kitten on the spot, cradling it tightly against her chest, grooming its fur, and defending it fiercely from the rest of her troop. 22. Geese. On an American farm, a notoriously territorial goose formed a protective bond with an ailing Shetland pony. When the pony became too weak to stand, the goose stood guard by its head, flapping its wings and loudly honking to ward off any handlers attempting to approach. 23. Northern cardinals. Songbirds are highly reactive to the sound of open, hungry beaks. Northern cardinals have been documented repeatedly visiting the nests of other bird species, including American robins, dropping off worms and prioritizing the feeding of the foreign chicks. 24. Sheepdogs. A Dalmatian sheepdog on an Australian farm made headlines by adopting a spotted, orphaned calf. The dog spent her days licking the calf clean, sleeping in its stall, and guiding it safely through the pastures. 25. Turkeys. Female turkeys are exceptionally protective mothers. When presented with orphaned ducklings or commercial chicks, a mother turkey will readily adopt the entire brood, altering her walking pace to accommodate her foster children and sheltering them under her massive wings. These 25 remarkable stories remind us that nature is far more complex and empathetic than old textbooks led us to believe. When an animal adopts a baby of another species, it shows us that the core impulse to nurture and protect life can easily cross the deepest biological boundaries. Thank you for watching. If these incredible adoptive parents touched your heart, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more wildlife insights, and let us know in the comments which of these cross-species adoptions surprised you the most. See you in the next video.